Back with another video. This is the top 20 niche fragrances list. You saw the designers list, the top 10. Now we've got the niche. We're going to do that coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is Sebastian with Smelling Great Fragrance Reviews. If this is your first time on my channel, or if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button below and also click the bell icon so you'll be notified for future videos and giveaways. So that you don't miss out, we do a lot of giveaways here, and I want to make sure you get to sample some fragrances by winning them. So please click the bell icon and click the subscribe button so you'll be notified. Thanks so much for tuning in. As I said, this is the top 20 niche fragrances list. As you know, I'm a big fan of niche fragrances, and you see a lot of fragrances, you see a lot of reviews for niche fragrances on this channel. So there's going to be a larger list of niche fragrances compared to the designer list that you saw, which was top 10. Here we have top 20. I was going to do a top 25. I decided to stop at 20 because sometimes it overwhelms me. And so these are the fragrances I'm going to be wearing this particular fall season. And as I said in the video, for the designers list, I love fall. It's my favorite season now. It used to be summer, of course, and summer's become just a little too much. And as I get older, I'm liking more cooler weather because, you know, I like cold, and I like to be bundled up in the cold and explore cities. And I travel to Europe usually in the winter time, and it's my favorite time of the year to travel because it's not hot outside. It's not sweaty. It's more, you know, breezy, cold and chilly, and really cold sometimes. So a lot of fragrances I like to wear in the wintertime are my favorite fragrances. But here we have fall fragrances. I wanted to make sure these fragrances were definitely appropriate for fall, so they're not like extra potent. Well, we're gonna go ahead and get started with a house that I have not talked about. I have shot a video for this house and I will air it very soon, but I have not aired it yet. This is a house out of the UK. They are called Bellissima. The fragrance that I'm putting at number 20 is White Leather, this right here. Man, this is such a great fragrance. This house is so difficult to find here in the States. They are sold at Selfridges in the UK, or a department store that's also, I guess, partnered or owned by Selfridges in Amsterdam. When I was there last December, that's when I picked this up, along with a few others from this line. But really, I love this fragrance. It's a leather, but it's slightly fruity and not like intense, like a heavy leather. So it's not like anything like you're gonna get like with Tuscan leather. This is very smooth and very refined. And it's also slightly boozy, so, oh man, White Leather, it's appropriately titled too, because white, I think of clean and soft, and it's definitely that. So White Leather by Bellissima is number 20. At number 19, a review I did recently for the house of Histoires de Parfums. This is 1740 Marquis de Sade. So what I like about this one is that it's patchouli, it's leather, it's sexy, it's dark, a little gothic, but not extra potent where you only need to wear it, you know, when it's really cold outside, because this is very appropriate for fall weather, I think. It does have legs though, it's not weak, but it's not like ultra strong, if that makes sense. But a lovely scent, inspired by the Marquis de Sade. That's why it's sexy. All that good stuff, and it smells wonderful. If you don't know it, do check it out. It's an older release, not something that's really recent, but still a great classic. So Histoires de Parfums, Marquis de Sade 1740 is number 19. So at number 18, the house of Atelier Cologne. We've got two from this house in this collection, or this list, and this is Emeraude Agar, this right here. So they have a couple of ouds in their house, but this one is a little different. And I like this one because it's a little on the tart side, slightly powdery. It also kind of reminds me a little bit of Straight to Heaven by KILIAN. But this is definitely stronger than Straight to Heaven. It's also got that patchouli, of course, but really beautiful. It's like hardly anybody talks about this one, but I think it's one of the better fragrances from this house. Emeraude Agar by Atelier Cologne. Do check it out. It's really lovely. It's an oud, as I said, but something along the line of oud wood, but more like like inspired by not inspired by Straight to Heaven, but just kind of like similar. It has similarities to Straight to Heaven, I think, from the patchouli. But anyway, check it out. Emeraude Agar is number 18. At number 17, from the house of Atelier des Ors, not Atelier Cologne, Atelier des Ors, and this is Iris Fauve. This is one of a few Iris fragrances in the collection, and this is really a lovely scent. It's a spicy iris, more masculine, more butch. So if you think of iris fragrances being more for, you know, feminine noses or women, think again, because this is definitely a unisex fragrance, if not more masculine, because it's got woody notes and spicy notes like cinnamon. Just a really lovely scent. If you want to find out more about this, I do have a review and a winner. One of my subscribers did win a bottle of this, and he's quite happy with it. So real people do win on this channel, and we did a full bottle giveaway, as I said. But just a great scent, because this is it's around $250 for this bottle. So people do win really great fragrances on this channel, and this is one of my favorite fragrances that I picked up this year. It's really lovely. So Iris Fauve is at number 17. At number 16, we're going to the house of BYREDO, and this is my ultimate fall fragrance for warmer fall days. That is Belle d'Afrique. It's such a simple fragrance to wear, and a great vetiver with marigold, I think, is the other note in here. It's a flower, but it, to me, just screams BYREDO. Whenever I think of Belle d'Afrique, or whenever I think of BYREDO, I think of Belle d'Afrique, and when I think of Belle d'Afrique, I think of BYREDO. It's got the BYREDO DNA. I think this is probably their most popular, biggest selling fragrance. But it's a very easy fragrance to wear, and just lovely. If you like vetiver, you might think this is not quite like a vetiver, because there's a prettiness about this. It's not like a harsh, dark, woody vetiver. It's more pretty. It's more bright, it's more sparkling, and just a lovely vetiver. Love it. So Belle d'Afrique is at number 16 by BYREDO. At number 15, we're going to the house of Diptyque, and one that I haven't talked about for a long time. This is a Volute by Diptyque. The EDP, the EDT has been discontinued, and this is a sweeter tobacco scent. It's got resins and sweet vanillic type notes. Just a lovely tobacco. I really love this one. It's dense. The original was a little lighter, which they obviously discontinued because they used to have an EDT and an EDP, but now they have just the EDP. But if you're a fan of the tobacco fragrances, this one is definitely one you should check out. I believe I featured it in my top 10 tobacco fragrances video that was about 2 years old. Do check that out. But Volutes is awesome. This is one of their better fragrances. I think there were fans of the EDT. I knew some folks that had it and loved it, but I'm sure it's better to stick with the EDP, because I think it works better for me. It's a little stronger, it's more dense, it stays long, it has longevity, so a better longevity, so I like it. Do check out Volute by Diptyque, and that's at number 15. At number 14, we're going to the house of Bruno Fazzolari and another iris fragrance, and that is Feu Secret, this one right here. Now, Feu Secret is a very unique iris fragrance. It utilizes the iris butter, and I did a video with Bruno. If you haven't watched it, do check that out. And there's a creamy side to this, and of course, iris is associated with powdery, but this one's very creamy. Now, when I wear this one, it also sometimes hints at things like Dior Homme, because there's that iris in there. Just a little bit. And then there's also something very classic about this. It's not an old smelling fragrance, just has hints of something classic, which I really like. This has now become my favorite Bruno Fazzolari fragrance next to Lamp Black, and I really like wearing it. So Feu Secret by Bruno Fazzolari is number 14. At number 13, we're going to the house of BERDOUES, Maison BERDOUES, and this is Oud Bois Vanilla, this one right here. So it's an oud with vanilla. So if you like oud, if you like vanilla, this one you're gonna like. And to me, it's more vanilla than oud. There's this woodiness, and I don't pick up a lot of oud, but it's there. I can pick it up a little bit, but it's the vanilla just softens that oud, and the dirtiness of the oud is, like, you know, more pleasant to wear. Again, it's more vanilla to me than the oud, but you can still smell the oud. Might react a little different to other chemistries, but very cozy scent, very fall appropriate scent. Do check it out. It's BERDOUES. I've done a video with one of the associates from the company you should check out. She discusses the brand a little bit. It's an old brand that's just kind of resurfaced and kind of branded with like new style of fragrances. And this is a trio of vanilla fragrances, and this is one of them, Oud Vanilla. Do check it out, and that's at number 13. And at number 12, we're going to the house of by KILIAN, and this is Black Phantom. So what I like about Black Phantom is that it's a gourmand, it's boozy, and it's perfectly appropriate for fall. So if you've ever been to San Francisco and you've gone to the Buena Vista, an old restaurant slash bar that is known for Irish coffee, that's what this smells like. So Irish coffee is served warm with I think rum or maybe whiskey, I can't remember exactly. So when you get it, it's got also milk in there, so it kind of has that smell to it, and it's very cozy to wear. I really love wearing this one, and it's perfect for fall. So you've got a little warmness outside, but you've got the coldness from the seasons changing, and it's appropriate for that season. So I'll be wearing a lot of this one because it's pretty new. When I picked it up, it was summer, and I haven't really put a dent into it, but I really love smelling it, like going like this. So it's by KILIAN, and it's one of their better releases as of late. So Black Phantom is number 12. So at number 11, we're going to the house of NASOMATTO, and I did a review for this one. Of course, I did a review for the Black Phantom as well, but this is NASOMATTO's BARAONDA, another boozy, slightly gourmandish fragrance, and this one smells so good, and on me it smells really good. I just wish it had its potency like other NASOMATTO fragrances do. It's a little softer, so that's why I put it for fall, but as far as smell goes, oh my god, it's really good, really good, and boozy to the max, and that's what I like about it. I love boozy fragrances, and you can pick that up totally here. It's Baraonda, so I think it's Cuba influence perhaps, so maybe there's rum in here. I can't remember the exact liqueur that's listed in the notes, but really delicious. Baraonda is number 11. At number 10, we're going to the house of Tower Perfumes, and this is L'air du Désert Marocain right here. So L'air du Désert Marocain is one of my favorite releases from Tower Perfumes, but there is an update to it called Accours de Désert that came out last year, which is the Extrait concentration version, which actually lasts much longer on me, but it's more closer to the skin. Here we have L'air du Désert Marocain, the original, which is a classic. It's the most popular Tower, I believe. And this one actually is, I think, more appropriate for fall for me, or a little warmer winter days, and that's why I put it here in the fall list. But it's an awesome amber, just dusty, dry, amber that has a Tower oud in there, and smells just great. Such a great scent. You've got to like ambers, but this is not like your sweet vanillic ambers. It's more dry, so you've got to like that. It's more dusty, and it's inspired by the desert. It says L'air du Désert Marocain, the air of the Moroccan desert. So you've got the dustiness kind of like in the air. Just, that's what it is. So Tower Perfumes, L'air du Désert Marocain is number 10. At number 9, a rose fragrance that I really love from the house of Le Labo. It's Rose 31. Another fall appropriate fragrance, and the reason I think this is appropriate is just dusty. Just it smells like fall to me. The roses come off a little drier and on here, so when they're drier, the sweetness has kind of evaporated from the roses, and that's exactly what I get from this. So drier, not so much sweet, more vetiver, more woody notes. Apparently there's also oud in here, which I don't pick up much. There's also gaiac wood. So it's definitely a masculine rose, but very unisex. It's a unisex release. And this is probably my favorite, or second favorite, Le Labo ever, next to Bergamot 22. Both of them are by Daphne Bouget, the perfumer. So Rose 31, number 9. At number 8, a new one from the house of Atelier Cologne. I did do a review of this one for Saint Laurent. This is Café Tuberosa. So one of my favorite coffee fragrances. It's tuberose, it's rose, coffee, and chocolate. What can you go wrong? Really, really great notes. And so the coffee is the biggest dominant accord, which is not really a note in here. And then there's also chocolate and rose. So it kind of hints at a little bit of intense cafe, but it's not quite, because you don't really have a milky note in here. It doesn't come off milky like an intense cafe does, but kind of hints at it, if that makes sense. I think it's the combination of the coffee and the rose together. But great release. This is probably one of my favorite releases from this house as of late, and really love wearing it. It's really, really appropriate for fall. So Cafe Tuberosa is at number 8. We're going to the house of MDCI, and this is CHYPRE Palatin, this one right here. This is a creation created by Bertrand Duchaufour. And I got to meet Bertrand in Pitti a few weeks ago, and it was an awesome experience. And he was at the Grandiflora booth, and I got to quickly do a video with him. If you haven't watched it, do definitely check it out. He did a creation for Grandiflora called Bologna, which I also liked. But anyway, he did this, and this is great. He is probably one of the most original perfumers out there as far as originality goes, because originality is not sticking to the same thing. He's done so many different style of fragrances that are all over the place. Like, this is totally different than what he did for other houses. Although you can see his signature, it's very, very unique. But this is a very, very almost gourmand-like release. It's got a little bit of like animalic touches in there. You can kind of pick up like when you have a cat or a dog near you, you can kind of like the furriness kind of is in there. Just really lovely. I love wearing this one, and just delicious. So if you don't know it, CHYPRE Palatin by MDCI. It's a little expensive, but definitely worth it. Number 6, we've got another Tower Perfumes, and this is Une Rose CHYPRE, perfect fall rose fragrance. Again, this is not a heavy fragrance, and this I think is one of the Tower fragrances I have in my collection that's not so Tower-ish heavy, if that makes sense. So it's a little more unique than other Tower fragrances, and I love it. It's rose, and it's unique, just pleasant, silky, smooth rose fragrance from Tower Perfumes. This is part of the collection that's not as easy to find, but I think now it is. I can't remember. I think they are available a lot of places now. Do check it out. Une Rose CHYPRE. Une Rose CHYPRE, and this is, as you can see, number 8. It says right here, and each of the Tower Perfumes has numbers. So, and this is listed here on this list as number 6. At number 5, a fragrance I reviewed recently with Allison in the video. This is for Parfum DUSITA. ISSARA, and we mentioned in the video how this reminds me of the fall, and it really does. The tobacco in here is honeyed, coated with honey or amber. It's a fougere. There's fougere-like notes in here, just very pleasant. This is hands down my favorite release from this house, and so beautiful. And it's perfect for fall, I think, because it does remind me of the fall, but it also works great in the fall. You do check it out. It's a modern, very unique take on a fougere with tobacco. ISSARA by Parfums DUSITA at number 5. At number 4, from the house of ORLOV Paris, we're going with a fragrance called Flame of Gold. So this one is a cedar with amber. But again, something similar to this, but no fougere here. Just kind of like the cedar is honeyed over. So there's this honey, beautiful, pretty honey-like note, and just smooth over with that woody note. So it's woody, but glossy and shiny a bit from the honey sweetness. Just very lovely fragrance to wear. This is not the star of the season, which is the sandalwood fragrance they had, which is a little more potent. This one I think is more appropriate for fall. I mean, it does have some legs to it, but I think it works a little better when it's not so cold outside. So Flame of Gold at number 4 by ORLOV Paris. And ORLOV Paris is a brand that is inspired by diamonds. So you got a little diamond right here, as you can see. All right, top 3, and number 3 is a fragrance from the house of Tiziana Terenzi, and this is Maremma. I did a video of this one with Lanier Smith recently, probably a while ago. And this one, we did a comparison between this and Black Orchid from Tom Ford. So this does have a little bit of Black Orchid-like scent to it, but this is actually more, I mean, a little more unique, a little different. So if you're used to Black Orchid, you might want to give this one a try. You might not like it because you're so used to Black Orchid, but I've heard complaints about how Black Orchid doesn't last. This one kind of comes off a little more like it, and it performs better. Because these are from Tiziana Terenzi fragrances, are all extrait de parfum, so they're a lot more denser, a lot heavier. And also the price is about 160 for 100 ml. I mean, it is a little more than the regular Black Orchid, but I think it's about the same. But the juice is a lot thicker, so you might want to compare it. So get some samples and see if you like this one compared to Black Orchid. But I really love this one. I think Paolo had told me that this was inspired by that city of Siena in Italy. So there you have it. Maremma is number 3. At number 2, we're going to the house of Jovoy, and this is Incident Diplomatique. Now, this is probably the most potent fragrance in this collection, in this video. So I would only need a few sprays, but this is one of the sexiest vetiver fragrances ever. It's vetiver with patchouli, just really sexy and really long lasting, so you only need a few sprays. I put it in here because I love vetiver. I absolutely love vetiver, and I love patchouli also. And here we've got the best of both worlds combined together to create this sexiness, ultra sexiness in a perfume. If you don't know it, do check it out. I highly recommend this one. I do have a review for it. The nose behind this one is Vanilla Maracchiole. So number 2 is Incident Diplomatique by Jovoy. Last but not least, you probably know this one if you haven't seen it on the list yet, if you know my taste, but maybe you don't know me. But this is from the house of Parfums de Marly, and it's Herod. Herod is really my favorite fall fragrance, and it's tobacco, and it's sexy, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. Just love it. I shot a video review of this one at the Paris Parfums de Marly boutique. Do check it out. We did a full bottle giveaway, and I know one of the subscribers here who I haven't seen lately won a bottle of this, and they were blown away. This retails for about $250 suggested retail. So just a lovely fall appropriate scent, and it's tobacco with the sweetness of some of the notes in there covering up the tobacco. So the dirtiness of the tobacco is kind of like smoothed over. So just a really great scent. If you don't know Herod by Parfums de Marly, I suggest you try it. Get yourself a sample or decant and check out what I think about this one and why I like it so much. It's such a really great release from this house. Probably their most popular, although I don't think it is their most popular. Probably maybe 2 or 3 or 4 down the list of most popular releases from this house. Anyway, that's number 1, and that's the video. What do you guys think? Do you like these fragrances? Do you not like these fragrances? Please let me know. What are you wearing for fragrances this fall? Which niche fragrances are you wearing? Which designer releases are you wearing? Please put those down so we can get a conversation started. Also, if you want to pick up bottles or samples or decants, I'll have links in the info box below. Thanks so much. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.